What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Rumor. This is episode number 34 and potentially our biggest. Actually, you know what I'm going to say? It is our biggest episode of the save so far. Yes, the last episode we literally just played an FA Cup final, a chance for our first piece of silverware. But this episode, at the end of today's episode, we could potentially have secured Champions League football for Nottingham Forest in our second season. Yes, with 2 games to go, we're ahead of Chelsea. It is in our hands. If we win both these games, we will be in the Champions League next season. But in front of us, two very different but very difficult challenges. Fulham away in the relegation zone, in a relegation scrap right now. They could still stay up. So, this is not a walkover by any means. And then the last game of the season, we host Man City, the team that beat us in the FA Cup final in the last episode. We host them as they're battling for the Premier League title as well. They're 4 points clear at the top with 2 games to go. But yeah, going into the first game, Fulham, like I said, in the relegation zone, we beat them 2-1 at home earlier in the season, and then we thumped them 6-0 in the FA Cup quarterfinals in this stadium just a few months back. Awoniyi is on 32 league goals. He's 1 goal away from breaking the league record, which, right on cue, there he does it. Brings us level on the game, actually, because Fulham had a free kick, it hit the post. Josh Onuma, the former Spurs academy player, latched onto the free kick and equalised. But then Taiwo levels us in the game, gets his 35th? No, gets his 33rd goal of the league campaign, breaks the record, and then bags his second here. We fully turn this game around. Fulham started off strong, got their opening goal, but then in the back end of the first half, we were all over Fulham, got our equaliser, and then we're pushing for that the go-ahead goal. Thought we would head into half-time ahead, but we wouldn't. Quite a poor goal to concede, to be honest. Thiago Tomas getting on the score sheet, his 8th goal of the season, making it 2-2 just before half-time. And then from kickoff, it's a game full of goals. We sped this one up because it felt like it was just pretty much from kickoff. We play the ball around. It finally finds Taiwo on the edge of the box, and my God. Hat trick in the first half, breaks the all-time Premier League record for goals in a single season. 35 goals on the campaign in 36 and a half games. What a man. Unreal. He got denied the Golden Boot last season by Mo Salah on the final day. It looks like he might take it this season. 35 goals. Obviously, that stat is pre-game, 32 and 36. He's got 35. And we lead this game 3-2 at half-time. Crazy, crazy goal fest. When is it ever not with Nottingham Forest? Going into the second half, well, yeah, straight away, not even 5 minutes on the clock, and that guy Tomas has his second of the game of Fulham's third. They are level. They work the ball quite well. Middlestat plays it to Tomas, and he equalises for the Cottagers. The second half didn't have as many chances. 15 minutes to go, Taiwo with a good effort, and then a really good save from Leno, and then a brilliant chance here. Nelson releasing Awoniyi, but his second touch just bounces off his knees and it takes it too close to Leno. He does still get the shot away, but it is saved. And then Fulham, in the 88th minute, that man again, Thiago Tomas, with a hat-trick, his 10th goal of the season. And what a huge goal this could be for Fulham. They lead 4-3. A win puts them out of the relegation zone. A loss for us takes us out of the top 4. Chelsea won just before we played, putting the pressure on us. We're now in 5th. A point takes us above Chelsea. At the moment, we're not getting it. We're into injury time. Maguire with an awful pass. Romero snaps onto it. Henderson with the save. There's a minute and a half left. Can we create anything? We get the ball down the other end. Awoniyi with a beautiful ball over the top to Vega. He's through. Does he shoot? He squares it to Nelson. Oh, it's off the bar. Oh my God, what a crazy sequence of events. Oh, I can't believe what I've just seen. The last minute and a half in this game have been ridiculous. Fulham could have killed the game 5-3. What a victory would have been for them. We go down the other end. Alexis Vega opts to pass it to Nelson, which I guess it was the right choice. Maybe he had an open goal, but Nelson crashes his shot off the bar. And the referee blows full time, and that is it. Fulham win 4-3. Takes them out of the relegation zone. It's a huge, huge 3 points for Marco Silva's men, and it's a damaging loss for us. 2 hat-tricks in the game. And as we look at the other full-time results, Man City, who were 4 points clear at the top of the league, lost at home to Arsenal. They could have secured the title at the Etihad today. Arsenal go there, cause an upset. Arsenal are a team who are chasing us for the top four as well, so that's not a great result in our stead as we head into the final. Well, what will be the final game of the episode? It's the final game of the season now. So as you can see there, we are fifth, 65 points. Chelsea on 66. Arsenal level on us with us on 65. Man United on 63 in seventh. They could potentially finish fourth because the goal difference is quite tight as well. It is all to play for going into the final game of the season. Down the bottom, Fulham, that win has taken them out of the relegation zone and ahead of Watford. A huge win for the Cottagers. Man City lead Liverpool at the top by only 1 point. The title is up for grabs. The top four is up for grabs. The last relegation spot up for grabs. What a final day we're going to have. Well, we reject a couple of bids for Lewis O'Brien from Villarreal and Porto. I will look to sell him in the summer, but I don't want to sell him now and then not have that money in the budget next season, if that makes sense. Harry Arter comes to us and says, "Look, boss, it's my final game of my career. I know I haven't played all season, but is there any way I can feature at all in this game against Man City? It's a huge game for us, but I do want to try and feature him. That's what we're about at this club, honouring players and their incredible careers. So Harry Arter, I do want to try and get him some game time if possible. He is on the bench today as we go into the final game of our season 2. Nottingham Forest, 100 league goals in 37 games. It's absolutely ridiculous. Man City have only conceded 39, so it's the best attack against the best defence. Man City, they beat us in the last episode in the FA Cup final. Pep Guardiola's side beat us 3-2. Was it 3-2 in the end? It was 3-2. We haven't beaten them in this save. 1 draw, 3 defeats against Man City. We're playing the same 11 that lost against Fulham. City, lining up with the same 11 that beat us in the final. What a huge game to end the season. Not only for us, but for Man City as well. They could have wrapped up the title against Arsenal. They lost. They now lead Liverpool by a point, but Liverpool actually have better goal difference as well. So, scenarios. If City lose and Liverpool draw, Liverpool win the title. If Liverpool win, City have to match their results. It's in City's hands. If they win the title. For us, we have to hope we can beat a team that we haven't beaten in a save yet, and hope that Chelsea drop points away at Tottenham, who in their defence are third. So that could happen. But let's just focus on our game. Final game of the season. Final game of the City ground of the season. Let's do what we can and represent ourselves as best as we can. Well, Alexis Vega, he got 2 goals in the FA Cup final against Man City. Gets his 6th league goal here. Put through on goal, and he buries it past Ederson. Very early on, we make it 1-0. We were on it to start off this game. We looked like a side who wanted these 3 points. Williams and Nelson link up well down the right-hand side, and they lay it back to Awoniyi, whose shot is blocked, and then Sayankov eventually gets the goal. Nice bit of redemption from him, who gave the ball away twice in the FA Cup final and caused, potentially 2 goals. And then half an hour in, we are 3-0 up. Straight from kickoff again, pretty much straight from kickoff. Taiwo gets put through on goal, and look at this. I mean, top corner from the league's top scorer, the record breaker, and Pep Guardiola is not happy. Is he about to see his side bottle a 4-point lead with 2 games to go? Well, we have just been absolutely magnificent. 3-0 inside half an hour as we look to secure our place in the top 4. Obviously, it's out of our hands. We have to hope Tottenham can do us a favour as well. Just before half-time, City would get a small lifeline. Haaland, who else? With a weird shot, actually, with his weaker foot. The City players play it around the box, and he scores after a Maguire turnover. So, again, being punished for a turnover. As we look at the half-time scores here, Chelsea is currently drawing at Tottenham 0-0, so that will be enough for us to finish 4th. Liverpool drawing at Aston Villa, but that is currently not enough for City. If Liverpool draw and City lose here, Liverpool win the league on goal difference. Well, Haaland, that man, once again, gets his 2nd goal of the game 15 minutes into the second half, and City from 3-0 down are within 1. And Mahrez, what a chance! What a chance for Riyad Mahrez to make it 3-0. A beautiful ball from Kevin De Bruyne over to the Algerian, but he puts it wide. And then this was a weird scenario. Sayankov plays it into Awoniyi. I thought he was fouled in the box. And going on the slow-mo replay, sorry that I had to get the replay out, the slow-mo replay, taking the immersion out of it a little bit, but Diaz looks to have fouled him in the box, but then the ref gives a free kick. Bit of a weird one, but when you've got Viktor Sayankov over the ball, anything is possible. This guy, oh man, it's like he was on a personal mission after that FA Cup final. He might blame himself. 2 turnovers, causing 2 City goals in that FA Cup final. He has scored twice today, and we restore our 2-goal lead. Not sure what the camera's doing there. This free kick is not the first free kick he scored as well this season. I remember he scored one away at Tottenham and then maybe one other as well. This is by far my favourite though. The fact that he gets it up and over the wall in such a short distance and Ederson doesn't move and it's top bins. We lead 4-2. We restore that 2-goal lead. It was against the runner play in the second half, but I don't care. We are hunting for Champions League football. Dean Henderson denies Haaland a hat-trick from close range and then with 5 minutes to go, we are able to give Harry Arter his final run out. I was very, very glad that I could do this. He obviously didn't contribute anything to the game. He's 56 rated, but glad I could give him his standing ovation from the stadium, from the crowd. As Kevin De Bruyne whips a free kick into the side net and deep into injury time. But even if that had gone in, it probably wouldn't have been enough. And there it is, full time on our second season as a Nottingham Forest manager. Have we secured Champions League football? Have we just cost Man City the title? It would be very, very sweet if we had. They beat us in the FA Cup final. I would love to have taken the league away from them. I would love that. But more importantly, have we secured top 4? I need to see the table. Did Tottenham hold off against Chelsea? Well, they did. They did. Champions League football is coming back to the City ground. It was obviously our aim, but I didn't expect to get it at the end of the second season. I thought maybe some form of European football. But Champions League football, let's go. 68 points, 104 goals scored. Yes, 76 conceded is not great. But 20 wins from 38 secure us a Champions League spot. We beat Chelsea on goal difference. They drew away at Tottenham. Down the bottom, Fulham stay up ahead of Watford. And Man City lost the league. Liverpool beat Aston Villa away and they won the league. City bottled it with 2 games to go. I can't believe it as we run through the other competitions. Obviously, City beat us in the final of the FA Cup. Leeds beat Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final, so fair play to them. They knocked us out in the semi-finals. Munich beat Man City in the Champions League final, so Man City went from potentially 3 trophies to 1. What a bottle job. Dortmund continued the German domination in Europe by beating Lyon 3-1 in the Europa League final, and then Atalanta lift the Europa Conference League trophy, beating Feyenoord in that final. My word, let's take a breath. Look at the player stats for the season. Awoniyi, a record season for him. 36 goals in 38 games give him the golden boot. Beating Mo Salah, who bagged 32. That's not a bad return from him at all. Brereton Diaz ended on 18 goals in 21 games, which is the best return out of any goals to game ratio. It's absolutely ridiculous. Brennan 15 out of 20 and Sayankov ended on 14. Taiwo as well, most assists. My God, this guy had 24 assists, which is double second place. Martin Odegaard for Arsenal had 12. Awoniyi had 24. 50 goal contributions in 38 games. This man is not a joke. 50 goal contributions in 38 games. Unreal from Awoniyi. Incredible from him. Sayankov got 10 assists. Johnson with 9 and Vega with 8. So good return from our attacking players there. Looking at the Golden Glove, Alisson won it with 13 clean sheets. We only kept 5. Very disappointing. I'm pretty sure most of them came early in the season as well. Need to work on our defence for next season. Looking at yellow cards, we had pretty decent discipline in terms of yellow cards. Rodri and Zubimendi both received 8 yellow cards. And then looking at the red card table, Harry Kane, 2 red cards. I wish we could have some sort of replay system because I would love to see Harry Kane getting 2 red cards. Not sure how that happened. Moda for Brian also received 2 red cards. We did receive 2 red cards ourselves. Harry Maguire on the opening day against Leicester. First game as captain, that wasn't great. He responded well throughout the season, though. And then Roman Pro, the controversial red card he got at Chelsea towards the back end of the season. That was a rough one, but anyway, we move. And we lost that game, but we beat Chelsea on goal difference to secure top 4. I'm absolutely buzzing with that. As we run through the team here, the youngster George Forster will be going to Watford on loan, who will be playing the Championship next season after getting relegated. I like this move a lot. And then we reject a bid from Atalanta for Lewis O'Brien. Overall, Very happy with this season. What potentially an overachieve. I mean, as you know, not potentially. It is an overachievement. I did not expect top four. And looking at our squad as we run through it now, our squad is definitely not top Champions League good enough. It is not good enough to compete with the Europe's elite. So I'm hoping that the board back us financially because we are going to have a mega transfer window coming up this summer before we enter the Champions League. I can't believe I'm saying that. That's absolutely fantastic. Maybe we'll be out of our depth and get battered in the Champions League. Who knows? I was expecting Europa League, Europa Conference League, but why not? Why not? Let's take on Europe's best. I love it. I hope we get a mega team. I love that we're going to get Champions League nights back at the City Ground. It was the aim for this save. Let's hope for, well, the aim for the save is to win a Champions League like Forest did, in the 80s, I think it was. They won a couple of European Cups. I want to bring that success back to the City Ground. But overall, an incredible season. I mean, some of these players, like even Vega, Sankov, they did brilliantly for us in those cam spots. But I do think we're going to have to upgrade them, and we need the depth now. Brennan Johnson obviously missed like 6 months with that injury. Gutted for the Welshman. I can't wait to have him back in the squad. Reece Nelson was a fantastic depth player. I signed him on a free. I didn't expect him to have the impact that he did. Still can't believe he's only 24. Brereton Diaz, when we sold Emmanuel Dennis, we had to replace the goals from the bench. Brereton Diaz did that and then some. He was absolutely fantastic. Shame that he got injured. And then Taiwo Awoniyi, what more can be said about him? Up to 83 rated now, 50 goal contributions, 66 goal contributions in all competitions. I think incredible season for him. We'll be holding off. We'll be able to hold on to him unless one of the super big teams come in for him this season. But yeah, hopefully the board will back us next season. They're obviously happy with how we ended season two. I cannot wait to get into episode 35, season three of the Nottingham Forest career mode, to see how much money we have, to see what we can spend, and see who we can bring in before we start the season. But that'll be it for today's episode. If you enjoyed, please drop it a like. I hope you're enjoying this series as much as I am. It's been an absolute thrill. I cannot wait to get season three going, and it will be up very, very soon. But until then, peace.